Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Friday, October 28th, 2016. The authorized souls for both the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind remain child souls from the levels of the subatomic that are smaller than the level in which we are experiencing sentience. However, this does not stop the continual parade of body snatchers from larger levels, and we have another set of body snatchers here right now.
That's true.
We are going to go with the foundational assignment, which is to do what is ours to do right now. Whoa! There you go. See, they don't even want to do the foundational assignment. So when we really hold for that as what we're going to do, there's a strong energy shift.
That's true.
Proving, and now somebody's arguing, that does prove that you are not in alignment with the foundational assignment.
That's
when we
true.
come
That's
into
what that
alignment with the foundational assignment and there's a big shift, it proves that there was a big shift needed.
That's true.
We're going to go with the foundational assignment, which is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions, to manifest the divine plan for the levels of the smaller subatomic, the level smaller than the level in which we are experiencing sentience.
That's true.
And to manifest that divine plan no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. And with that, the formally videoed portions of today's efforts begin. Keep going higher, higher, way above the disaster zone.
Thank you.
All of us who are willing to acknowledge personally inconvenient realities to the search for truth's central axis, all others flung away. I'm starting to see how the very recently dead from that much larger dimension, huge disaster,
Yes.
there is still the opportunity to get those people looking up, but the levels of the non-physical associated with that physical level are pretending that maybe it isn't their work to do, or
That's
pretending, I think that seems to be the main pretense. This isn't for me to do, surely what I've already done is enough. And they seem to not be acknowledging the fact that there are a bunch of dead people who aren't going up to the light.
That's true.
All right, well, let's position ourselves about 4 levels up from the disaster zone
Ooh, that's true.
and start drawing up the energy and calling this way, this way, this way, this way, this way to the light, this way to the light. If anybody has, let's start with this. If anybody has had the thought, wait a minute, am I dead? This way, this way, this way to the light. For all of us who have had that thought, wait a minute, am I dead? This way, this way, this way to the light. The answer is yes, yes, everybody is dead. You're dead, and so are all those people who are telling you that you aren't dead.
That's true.
Everybody's dead. It was an event of mass death. Something really big happened, and everybody's dead, which is no big deal. You can see for yourself that death isn't a big deal because you're having a hard time discerning whether or not you're dead.
That's
right? It's not a big deal. However, let's check in now. It's appropriate to now look up to the light, see those rings of light, and let's go through them. This way, this way, this way to the light.
This way to the light, this
way to the light. And to those non-physical presences who aren't helping these recently dead, can you see that you yourselves are acting just like dead people? You're not acting like enlightened beings, quote unquote. You aren't helping these dead people find their way to places of higher vibration.
That's true.
So you're just another dead person, unless you start to act like what you claim to be. Okay? Let's help these dead people go to the light.
This way to the light.
They don't like that at all.
No, very grumpy.
Very grumpy.
That's true.
Bifurcate. All of us who are willing to acknowledge personally inconvenient realities to the search for truth central axis, all others flung away. Look up, look up, look up, look up. We're all going to have to check in. That conversation is coming. The longer we put it off, the worse it gets. It's better to have the conversation right away before we make it worse for ourselves.
That's true.
Look up, let's go. My attention keeps being drawn to the tops of these trees and how they're all roughly the same height.
That's true.
And they're just jostling with each other for every bit of sunlight,
That's
jockeying, everybody growing sideways, wasting their efforts rather than just growing straight up. Just blast through it. Be taller.
That's true.
It's interesting. Just be the tall one. Go higher. You can do it. I see the metaphor. Just trying to... I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you. Rather than saying someone's got to set a good example of each of us growing straight up and not impinging on our neighbor's space, just running our own game, our own race. A race for a consistent source of significantly higher vibration is the metaphor or the message.
That's true.
All of us who are ready to race for a consistent source of significantly higher vibration to the search for truth's central axis, all others flung away. I do get the sensation of people putting on running shoes.
That's true.
It's like getting ready for a race, stretching, people stretching.
That's true.
Well, let's just ring the starting bell.
That's true.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Everybody seems to be waiting for someone else to start racing. Just head on off. The starting bell rang a really long time ago.
That's true.
All of us who are ready to race for a consistent source of significantly higher vibration to the search for truth's central axis, all others flung away, and just start racing. Let's race. Start racing. Don't wait. Don't wait. Hit the ground running, so to speak.
There's a big energy flow moving.
Race for a consistent source of significantly higher vibration. Look up. Look up, straight up, that way, through all those rings of light. That's where we're going. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way to the light. This way, this way to the light. Working up the toothpaste tube from at the level of the disaster and maybe slightly underneath it and slightly above it, just right around that level of the disaster, getting that going. Keeping that event of mass death processing so that it actually is processing and isn't just congealing.
That's true.
That could be something that could be helpful to people. Energy sensitive people in all dimensions have their channels out. That's what we're attempting to create, is the shift from a channels out way of being, which has been the way since inception of these dimensions of sentience, to a channels up way of being. That's the whole part of the assignment, a crucial key cornerstone of the assignment.
That's true.
And there are all these energy sensitive people in all these dimensions who have their channels out. And all these dimensions seem to be really clogged with dead people who have some combination of confusion and resistance to the fact that they're dead.
That's true.
And that might be something that people could start saying to the dead people who are harassing them is, hey, do you know you're dead? You're dead. You're dead. Look up. You're dead. Look up. Go to the light. Hey, you're dead. Look up. Go to the light. Can't help but notice. You're dead. Look up. Go to the light. Now, some of them will say, what? No! You're crazy. I'm not dead. Whatever. But others will say, oh, whoa, that explains so much.
That explains so much.
And then they'll go. There's somebody here who is so sad.
I feel this big sadness.
This big sadness. They say this can't be true. But whatever they're feeling is definitely true. They've got somebody's report on their desk, and they're saying this can't be true, but I can feel the report, and it's definitely true. Whatever that report says, it's true. Whoever filed that report, they're telling you the truth, and you should ask them for clarification on the points that you're unsure about, because they're telling you the truth. Now, they might not be able to clarify the points that need clarification.
That's true.
It's possible that they also won't know the answers, but what they've said is true, and it suggests it feels like they're saying certain things, and then they're saying other things that seem to be they're positing theories, and they're saying, well, if this I think is true, and it's possible this is also true, and those things are also true. The things that they're positing are also true. All those things are true.
That's true.
Yes, those things are true. Pump up the dead. Again, there's that reference to that Monty Python scene. Bring out your dead.
That's true.
Bring out your dead.
Bring out your dead.
Yes.
I hear it.
Get the dead going. We'll just pull them up hand over hand, all these dead presences from that disaster zone and more.
I feel it. There we go.
Handing them up higher, higher to anybody who's willing to take it from here. I do feel some hands. They feel small hands
small.
willing
That's
to
true.
take it from here. They
That's
might
true.
be presences who came from deeper in the smaller subatomic
That's
and have
true.
already passed through and are willing to say this way, this way, this way, this way, basically. That might be because
That's
those hands
true.
feel really small. Wow, there's so much clogging in the head.
That's true.
I think the clogging is from the non-physical levels that are above the disaster zone.
That feels
Like
true.
I keep trying to make it be the disaster zone itself, but it isn't. The disaster zone now starts to feel like it's kind of around the collarbones or maybe a little lower
That's
than the
true.
collarbones. And so this top of the head are dimensions above the disaster zone, and that's where the clogs are
That's
right
true.
now. Friends, maybe consider that you too are dead. You are also dead. You are also dead. You're dead. Keep going. Look up to the light and go home and take those who are behind you. Take them with you. Say, come on, this way.
This way.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
This way. This way.
That feels better.
Feels better.
Maybe that's what the report was. Maybe the report was filed that said there's a big problem with a lot of dead people who don't know they're dead, and I see that they've set up little fantasy worlds for themselves, and every now and then one of them says, there's something wrong that I can't quite put my finger on, but that's all. That's the only signal
That's true.
that there's any awareness that they're dead. And then this person is also flashing vignettes of their own cocktail parties and nights
That's
out with
true.
friends where people are saying, and he's highlighting, it's like all these snippets of people saying there's something wrong here and I can't quite put my finger on
That's
it.
true.
And he's just flashing many of those, and he's saying, do you think we're dead? Yes, you're dead.
Yes,
I know
yes,
you're dead. You're all dead. You're in a non-physical. That means
That's
you're
true.
dead. That's the definition. You're dead. You're all dead. Absolutely, you're dead. Look up.
Look
Look
up.
to the light. Go up and take everybody with you. Take as much with you as possible. Don't just selfishly save yourselves. Call at least to your loved ones saying, this way, this way, this way to the light.
This way to the light.
Go, 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 go. Everybody you're passing through, they're all dead. They just don't know they're dead.
That's
They're all
true.
dead. They're all dead.
That's
Race
true.
for it. Race for it. Go, 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 go. Well, do you think we're dead?
Do you think we're dead?
I don't think we're dead. I
don't
actually
think
don't
we're
think
dead.
we're dead. But
But I
we-
know they don't think
they
they're
don't
dead.
think they're dead, and everybody has really good reasons why they
Why
aren't
they can't be dead, and why would we be special? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we're all dead.
Maybe we're all dead. Maybe this is a fantasy of all dead people.
All those people think that they're living in a real physical dimension.
They're sure they are.
They're sure
I
they
know
are.
it to be true.
I know it. They know it,
That's true.
which is what a belief is. What we know to be true.
That's true.
That's a belief. Everything else is a hope,
That's true.
or a thought, or a theory,
Or a wish.
a wish. What we know to be true, that's what we believe. And we believe that we are in a physical dimension, but so do all those other dead people, and
That's
they're
true.
clearly dead.
That's true.
Maybe we're dead.
Maybe we're dead.
Well, this way, this way, this way to the light.
This way to the light. Now including the emissions for the formerly videoed portions of today's efforts. Oh. Including the emissions for today, Friday, start to finish. including the emissions for the week that ends this coming Saturday at midnight, including the emissions for the lifetime of the physical host, start to finish. Taking this poorly done work and raising it as close to well done as we're able to get it with our own efforts. Sighting up to the light. Getting to the closing process, go straight up.
Go straight up.
Go straight up as high as you
Straight
can.
up.
Just go as high as you can. When you start to come down, get off at that level.
And you will start to come
You will
down.
start to
We
come
all
down.
do.
That's true.
That's what happens. It's
That's
inevitable.
true.
So don't pretend you aren't coming down. Just get off. Say, this is
Ah.
what they told me about,
This is true.
and get off.
And tell the presences there what happened to you. And ask why it happened that way. And then ask them to join you in going even higher.
When you see another closing process passing you, join them and keep going up. That's good.
That's good.
That's good. Okay, good.
That feels better.
It feels better. All right.